It is the 20-year-old sensation from the Philippines, Eala. Congratulations on the win. I watched that entire.
Millions of Filipinos around the world are celebrating after Alexandra Eala and Victoria Mboko delivered a stunning performance on the clay courts of Roland Garros, defeating a team that many believed was simply too experienced to overcome. Before the match even started, almost every prediction pointed in the opposite direction. Analysts favored the established stars, commentators questioned the chemistry of a brand-new partnership, and tennis fans expected the young duo to struggle under the pressure of the Grand Slam spotlight. But what unfolded in Paris became one of the most unforgettable surprises of the tournament. From Manila to Toronto, from Dubai to countless Filipino homes across the globe, the names now being celebrated are Eala and Mboko. Playing together for the very first time at a WTA main draw event, the two rising stars showed fearless energy against a dangerous pair featuring former US Open finalist Leylah Fernandez and Olympic silver medalist Diana Schneider. On paper, the matchup looked completely one-sided. Experience, rankings, and past achievements all favored their opponents. Yet tennis has always been a sport where belief can change everything. What makes this victory even more incredible is the difficult path both players faced before entering the doubles draw. Eala had just suffered a painful singles defeat at Roland Garros, while Mboko came into Paris after falling short in the Strasbourg final against Emma Navarro. Many expected disappointment to linger. Instead, both players responded with resilience, confidence, and fearless attacking tennis that completely changed the atmosphere of the match. As the points grew bigger, so did their composure. The pressure that was supposed to overwhelm them instead fueled their determination. Every rally felt like a statement that the next generation is ready to challenge the old order of women's tennis. By the end of the night, Paris witnessed more than an upset. It witnessed the arrival of a partnership and a moment that fans may remember for years to come. Analysts called it a complete mismatch long before the players even stepped onto the court. On one side stood a brand-new doubles partnership featuring Alexandra Eala and Victoria Mboko, two rising stars with limited experience together at the professional level. Across the net stood a far more established duo, former US Open finalist Leylah Fernandez and Olympic silver medalist Diana Schneider, a team many believed possessed too much experience, chemistry, and composure to be threatened by two teenagers still building their careers. The predictions were brutal. Experts did not merely favor Fernandez and Schneider, they practically erased any possibility of an upset before the first serve was struck. To most observers, this looked like a routine match that would end quickly in favor of the experienced pair. But tennis has a way of exposing assumptions, especially when confidence and momentum collide under pressure. What many analysts failed to recognize was the hidden connection already shared by Eala and Mboko. Their story did not begin in Paris. Years earlier, the two faced each other during the 2022 US Open Girls semifinals, a tournament that eventually ended with Eala capturing the junior title. Since then, competition slowly transformed into respect, and respect eventually grew into a natural understanding that statistics and scouting reports could never fully measure. From the opening games in Paris, their chemistry looked surprisingly effortless. Eala controlled the deuce side with calm precision while Mboko dominated the ad court with explosive power. They moved together instinctively, communicating with confidence and reacting like a partnership that had spent years building trust instead of only days preparing for a Grand Slam match. As the rallies intensified, so did their belief. Mboko, already gaining worldwide attention after her incredible rise up the rankings, hammered fearless returns that immediately put pressure on the favored team. Meanwhile, Eala displayed remarkable composure at the net, looking calm far beyond her years despite the enormous stage surrounding her. For Diana Schneider, the pressure must have felt overwhelming. Entering the match as the Olympic medalist and experienced favorite, she suddenly found herself chasing momentum against two fearless teenagers refusing to back down. The court seemed to shrink with every game. Fernandez and Schneider began forcing difficult shots, while Eala and Mboko looked increasingly relaxed, energized, and confident. Only days earlier, the story had already been written by the experts. But under the lights of Paris, Eala and Mboko created a completely different ending. When the doubles draw was officially released on Monday, the reaction across the tennis world felt almost unanimous. Most analysts predicted a comfortable victory for the experienced partnership of Leylah Fernandez and Diana Schneider. Their chemistry, resume, and experience on major stages appeared far too strong for a newly formed team still learning how to play together under Grand Slam pressure. By Tuesday, even some Philippine sports outlets were urging fans to stay realistic. Alexandra Eala and Victoria Mboko were talented, but facing an Olympic silver medalist and a proven WTA competitor in their very first major doubles appearance together seemed like an impossible challenge. Expectations remained low, and many believed the match would simply be another learning experience for two promising young stars. Then Wednesday arrived and everything changed. From the opening games, Eala and Mboko played with an intensity and confidence that immediately shocked the crowd. Every hold of serve increased the pressure on the favored team, while every aggressive return from the young duo pushed the energy inside the stadium to another level. As the match continued, the atmosphere transformed completely. Filipino supporters packed into the stands began waving flags, shouting after every point, and creating the kind of environment usually reserved for championship matches rather than a first-round doubles contest. Tournament observers reportedly noticed how quickly the noise around the court escalated whenever Eala stepped up to serve. Momentum kept swinging toward the underdogs, and suddenly the predictions made earlier in the week began falling apart in real time. Outside the stadium, social media exploded. Fans across the Philippines flooded platforms with reactions as hashtags connected to Eala and Mboko rapidly climbed into national trending topics. Watch parties in Manila filled with excitement, while Filipino communities in Toronto, Dubai, Los Angeles, and other cities celebrated the stunning performance together online. For longtime supporters, this moment felt deeply emotional. Fans who believed Eala's breakout performances earlier in the season signaled something bigger felt completely validated. Those who followed Mboko's remarkable rise through the rankings also saw this as confirmation that her fearless style belonged on the sport's biggest stages. When the final point ended the match, Eala and Mboko embraced at center court while the crowd erupted around them. Across the net, Diana Schneider quietly gathered her equipment as Philippine flags continued waving proudly in the background. And perhaps most symbolic of all, this breakthrough happened on the same clay courts forever connected to Rafael Nadal's legendary legacy at Roland Garros. In recent weeks, one detail surrounding Alexandra Eala's rise has quietly captured the attention of the tennis world. Behind the scenes, Rafael Nadal has reportedly spent time offering guidance and support as the young Filipina continues developing her game on clay. While the spotlight remains focused on tournament results and rankings, moments like these often reveal far more about a player's future than statistics ever can. During the Italian Open, Eala openly expressed how much that connection means to her, saying, "Anything I can learn from Rafa, I'll take with pride." The comment sounded simple, but for many tennis fans, it carried enormous weight. It reflected the mindset of a player fully committed to growth, discipline, and mastering the details required to succeed at the highest level of the sport. When a legend like Rafael Nadal chooses to invest time in a young player, people notice. Nadal's reputation was built not only on winning but on understanding clay court tennis better than perhaps anyone in history. He does not casually offer his attention to players without recognizing something special in their potential. Over time, he has reportedly observed Eala's movement on clay, her instincts during long rallies, and the intelligence she brings to constructing points under pressure. Now those lessons are beginning to appear on one of tennis' biggest stages. What happened in Paris no longer feels like a lucky upset or a temporary moment of excitement. Instead, it feels like the beginning of a major shift inside women's tennis. Victoria Mboko, still only 19 years old, has already become one of the fastest rising names in the sport with her explosive power and fearless mentality. Eala, meanwhile, continues climbing steadily with a style built on composure, patience, and tactical awareness rarely seen in players her age. Together, they represent more than simply an exciting doubles partnership. They symbolize two rapidly growing audiences that global tennis has been eager to connect with for years: Southeast Asia and the next generation of Canadian tennis fans. The Philippines alone brings massive energy to the sport. Millions of passionate supporters across the country and throughout the Filipino diaspora regularly stay awake deep into the night just to follow matches live. Add the growing Canadian support behind Mboko, and suddenly the WTA has discovered a new wave of global attention impossible to ignore. With Roland Garros still unfolding, Wimbledon approaching quickly, and the US Open season waiting ahead, one thing is becoming increasingly clear. The conversation around Eala and Victoria Mboko has already changed forever. The conversation around Eala and Victoria Mboko has completely changed. Just days ago, many people questioned whether the young duo truly belonged on a stage as massive as Roland Garros. Now the discussion is no longer about whether they can compete at this level. The real question has become how far they can go before the rest of the field finally discovers a way to slow them down. What makes this breakthrough even more impressive is the adversity both players faced before arriving in Paris. Eala entered the doubles draw carrying the disappointment of an early singles exit only days earlier. Victoria Mboko arrived after suffering a painful loss in the Strasbourg final, falling heartbreakingly close to capturing a major title before it slipped away. For many young athletes, setbacks like those can create doubt and hesitation. But neither player allowed frustration to break their confidence. Instead, both responded with maturity far beyond their years. After her singles defeat, Eala remained calm and focused, speaking with the mindset of a player already thinking about the next opportunity rather than dwelling on disappointment. Mboko showed the same mentality even before the tournament began. When asked about her long-term goals in tennis, she answered with complete confidence, saying she wants to win a Grand Slam and believes it is only a matter of time. That belief became obvious the moment they walked onto the doubles court in Paris. Despite facing experienced opponents with Olympic success and years of chemistry together, Eala and Mboko refused to play with fear. They attacked aggressively, trusted each other completely, and looked more energized as the pressure increased. What unfolded next felt far bigger than a single doubles match. A former junior rivalry had evolved into remarkable chemistry. Two fearless teenagers pushed an Olympic medalist onto the defensive under the lights of Roland Garros. And through every point, Philippine flags continued waving proudly inside the crowd as fans roared with every momentum swing. Eala and Mboko did not simply win a tennis match in Paris. They delivered a statement to the entire sport. The next generation of women's tennis is no longer waiting quietly for its turn. It is arriving right now with confidence, speed, and fearless ambition. And perhaps the most incredible part is that this story is still unfolding in real time. Across the Philippines and throughout Filipino communities around the world, watch parties remain filled with energy, excitement, and belief as millions continue following every moment of this unforgettable run. The hashtags are exploding across social media, and the tennis world is starting to realize that this may be about far more than one surprising upset in Paris. Eala and Victoria Mboko have suddenly become the center of attention at Roland Garros, and the energy surrounding their partnership continues growing with every match they play. No matter what the final scoreboard eventually says, one thing is already clear. The belief these two young stars have created can no longer be measured by rankings, predictions, or betting odds. Statistics can estimate probabilities, but they cannot capture momentum, chemistry, or the emotional connection building around a partnership that nobody expected to rise this quickly. For months, much of the tennis world underestimated both players. Their success was often treated as temporary hype instead of something real. But now the conversation has changed completely. Eala and Mboko are no longer viewed as outsiders simply trying to compete. They are now sitting directly in the middle of the global tennis spotlight, and everyone is finally paying attention. That is why the biggest questions surrounding this tournament has shifted so dramatically. It is no longer about whether they belong on a Grand Slam stage. The real debate now is how far this incredible run can actually go. Can they reach the quarterfinals? Push all the way into the semifinals? Or are fans witnessing the beginning of a true Cinderella story capable of challenging for the title itself? For longtime supporters, this moment feels especially rewarding. Fans who believed in Eala after her breakthrough performances in Miami or followed Mboko's rapid rise through the rankings are now watching the rest of the tennis world catch up to something they recognized long ago. And the most exciting part is that this story is still unfolding in real time. Every match adds another chapter. Every point increases the belief. And with each victory, the feeling surrounding Alexandra Eala and Victoria Mboko only grows stronger.